to be said, and we actually have the winner of said match coming back on stage for our next best of three. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please welcome back K1llsen and local hero Hal. Hello to you both. K1llsen, we can't get away with not talking about the first match, especially the first map. It looked like an absolute predictive masterclass. Give us your summary on what was going on there, because that looked beautiful from you.
I just paid him a lot of respect, actually, even it looked like a little different, but I made sure to have a rocket launcher myself, since that's the most dangerous weapon right now in the patch, how Quake works. And also, you also gotta credit him for his tracking, rail, and yeah, just took care of that, so he's not able to surprise me. And I kind of kept always having an eye on the open areas, so I can make it very quick to that area and yeah, finish him. And it paid off.
Hal, we were speaking a little bit about the patch and how it affects certain playstyles. Certainly looks like your opponent's pretty handy with a rocket launcher. How are you feeling? Like, what's your feel on this patch?
Well, I'm feeling good with the patch, although I know my opponent is very good, so I gotta be careful for sure about that. And he's also one of my teammates, so we're gonna have a good game anyway. I hope he's not gonna go too bad on me, but I can defend myself, I'm sure about that.
All right, well, best of luck to both of you. We're looking forward to an entertaining game. Go ahead, shake hands, head over to your booths. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be chucking it over to the desk now for a breakdown of what we can expect in this next match. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Dorsar. Yes, it's going to be hopefully a great match. I want to see Hal perform well, and I say that for a specific reason, because as I've gotten to know the players here in the Quake scene, Hal is definitely one of my favorites. Such a nice guy. He'll always come up to you and say hi, and always have like a nice chat with you. And he's taking us partying on Saturday, I believe it is. Oh, really? So hopefully, I'm talking nice about him now, so then he is really good wingman for me. Yeah. But no, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He has a little bit of a shadow to live under, if we're to be honest, under his brother Sturmy.
Yeah, it's quite overbearing, isn't it? In that his brother has achieved so much.
It's like Eli Manning and Peyton Manning almost, except Eli Manning, I don't know if you know American football at all.
I don't think anyone watching will really understand that reference.
Let me have this one, please. Let me have this one. It's like, yeah, under your brother's shadow. But Eli Manning has kind of like risen to the occasion. I think Hal has the opportunity to do that. I mean, it's a new change with, rocket launcher again being more of the prevalent gun you're going to see. And that always gives an opportunity and a window for him to start to really shine, I think.
Yes and no. His playstyle is very similar to his brother's, and he prefers hit scan. He's not particularly aggressive. He likes to take mid-range, long-range fights, and that can work in his favor. So playing to that railgun, because obviously as we saw last game, K1llsen was very happy just to sit around with the rocket launcher. He's got an exceptionally good rail himself, but in this mode, every rail you hit is so crucial. So if you hit and K1llsen doesn't, automatically you're on the front foot. So you need to try and keep away, and I think that's the strength that Hal can play to. And
we do have our maps as well, if you want to just run through them for people on the stream, just so we know what's coming up. You got it, I trust you.
So Hal.
Okay, so there is a big difference in mic volumes as well, I'm hearing. So I'm going to crank you up as far as I can.
Am I really quiet?
I literally cannot turn you up any higher than you are now, except I can do this, and then I'm going to turn me down, and now you talk.
DJ Captain.
All right.
Blood Run is picked by Hal, then Blood Covenant picked by K1llsen, finishing up with Corrupted Keep as the third map.
Sorry, you said no one watching would understand it. I saw some touchdowns in chat there for the second I looked.
You have chat?
Yeah, I have chat a little bit. Yeah, just to check, mic volumes. I'm trying to make sure people can hear your beautiful
football
voice.
And people say touchdown. That is... How is that?
If you say football, I say goal, then it's like...
You said American football.
Yeah. But be happy I call soccer football, because I've been living in Europe for 5 years.
Whatever, man. I've forgotten
I just can't make you happy, can I?
What we're talking about.
I don't know either. We're talking about the maps.
Oh, yeah,
so, coming to this Blood Run again, after seeing K1llsen, obviously, with 4 maps each, it's not like you have a deep pool to look at. But that's going to be rough, considering how we saw K1llsen play. But maybe that's Hal's, upside. Maybe Hal got to see it.
Well,
yeah, exactly. So he maybe has a game plan. But I'm a little bit scared for that, because he was just playing against Cooler. So I don't know who even won that match, or if he had the opportunity to see this game.
Yeah, I'm guessing no, he wouldn't have a chance to see this game at all. But at the end of the day, I think he would know what to expect from K1llsen. Hal normally puts in a lot of hours.
You know, I'm gonna find out who won that game. I'm gonna see if I can wave someone down from production just to see, because obviously we want to take stock of things, right? It's groups, only two players move on.
Yeah.
Very important to pick up every match you possibly can, and important to know, you know, Quake, how's he performing today?
But Blood Run, if Hal's going to take a map for me, yes, is his pick. You look like one of those wavy.
I can't get anyone. I'm looking for something to throw because I literally can't get anyone's attention right now. Eventually, someone's gonna look over at
there
me.
We go.
No,
He's
not
ignoring
happening.
you. But no, I think Blood Run, yes, is his pick. So yes, it's an obvious statement. But if he's going to win a map, it has to be Blood Run because it's the map where I think Hal can play to his style best. He can play that rail game. He can play the mid-range game. Blood Covenant is slightly easier to shut down and Corrupt to keep. Obviously, there's no rail. So
Yeah, I gave up.
Yeah, I know you go.
I gave up.
I'm going to work off the assumption that Quake won.
I think so as well.
It's a safe assumption.
I mean, then again, this is a big game for Hal, right?
So this, just what I was about to say. So if Hal loses this, he's staying in Italy.
Yeah, and then, I mean, there is potential for ties, I believe, with 4-man groups. So, like, if he can beat Claus, and then Claus is to Cooler, you have 2 people tied at 1 and 2.
There's
and then
a
you
lot
have
of things that have to happen.
Yeah.
So you need to win one of your first 2 games.
That must be real loud for people at home, so I'm going to trank that down. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, kicking things off. It's going to be K1llsen up against Hal in our second game of the day. And it looks like already off the bat, K1llsen has been pressured by the LG, taking a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah, off the bat, Hal gets a slightly beneficial spawn with the weapon advantage and forces K1llsen off the map. So we can see how K1llsen plays on the back foot now.
They don't have the Doomslayer either off the bat for K1llsen, so changing things up. But look at those little mid-air dodges. So well done. K1llsen picks up the first frag and already spots him out another time, forcing the Ghost Walk out. How? Where has he gone? Has he run away? Looks like he will go through the slip gate here and create some distance, but K1llsen's off to a strong start.
Yeah, and the pick, as you mentioned, is extremely fascinating because it reflects K1llsen's understanding of the different playstyles between Hal and Claus, in that he respected that Claus wanted to play a quick pace and needed that tankier champion, the better mobility. Whereas against Hal, he obviously feels he has the superior advantage in terms of the reading of the game. This really nice damage coming from Hal, not enough. Reading in the game and kind of combat skill, and wants to take the pace.
K1llsen, I mean, if we think about the match versus Claus just now and what we just saw, K1llsen was pulling off a complete 180 and how aggressive he was. He was taking the fight to Hal there every time. Whereas against Claus, he sat back and he was letting, Claus have the run of the map and then just predicting what, avenues he would take for some preemptive rockets.
Exactly. K1llsen obviously feels he has the superior edge, but at the same time, Hal's advantage comes in those mid-range, long-range fights. And what K1llsen wants to do is to limit that capability. He wants to get into Hal's face.
Well, he has switched things up to the Doomslayer now for K1llsen. Need to take a little bit of damage, but again, Hal's on the back foot already, and the rock's gonna be coming through. He's not gonna hit the mid-air, the sick mid. He's gonna hit the second though. And again, K1llsen, he's dropped 1 champion, well 2 technically now, in his first 2 games.
He's also switched back to the Doomslayer, so back to his comfort.
Maybe he just got the read. I mean, honestly, looking at how his Anarchy played, I would have known that Doomslayer was his comfort pick because of how good he looked on it. But maybe it's a little a change of style for him. Maybe he got a decent read into Hal there, or maybe he's trying to keep Hal off balance by switching things up like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's early stages of the tournament. He feels extremely confident, obviously. It might just be one of those things where he wants to just try out all of the champions because he didn't get to play Anarchy once, I believe, against Claus. Maybe once.
Maybe once, but he didn't really get to play it for long, if anything. LG coming out. That's where the Ghost Walk popped in.
Nice. Really
well done by K1llsen there. Now Hal with no HP gets punched to death. K1llsen is looking unstoppable right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's only the second match, but barely even dropping champions against Claus or Hal.
You can just see the respect Hal's giving him too. No rocket launcher, he only has the LG, so credit to K1llsen to really kind of control what Hal can pick up. Again, looking for the rail, does drop down, and is looking for the follow-up shot, but we know how this works if you guys are Star Wars fans. High ground is always going to be the advantage, and it's going to be popping the Berserk just to get away.
Yeah, Hal needs to stabilize here and try to keep away. There's no real reason. Oh, that's a nice rocket, though.
He's going to go for the follow-up. He's going to go for the kill. He misses the rail, though, with K1llsen on low HP. I did like to see, though, the use of the double jump. He was so patient on it initially with K1llsen there when he knew he was already in the air and was potentially going to get caught out, trying to read into where the rocket was coming or maybe when the rail was coming down. That rocket almost catching K1llsen there. He's got no armor left, but
yeah,
the heavy armor will be up in a second.
It's a sign of great players when they have that composure in the midst of fight to then utilize one of those abilities, whether it's a double jump or whatever it is, in the perfect timing.
And that's, I think, why one of the reasons why Doomslayer, as we touched on earlier, is so damn strong, because how you feel mentally and how you actually can respond to being hit into the air, knocked into the air by a rocket. It's like, well, most champions, you can't do anything. You just have to kind of take it, maybe out-aim the other target. But at least with Doomslayer, you have the opportunity to like change your direction or maybe make them miss that rocket so you have a little bit of a longer opportunity to hit one yourself.
Exactly. I mean, there's so much... nice. There's so much of Quake that's instinctive because the game is so reactionary and that your muscle memories automatically responds to situations. And when you can completely change the dynamic of how that works, then you can mess people's aim up.
Right. Well, here we go. Potentially the final round here of our first map in this best-of-3 set. K1llsen already up 1-0 so far in today's games. Still not sure, still have not been told yet necessarily what Hal is so far, if he won or lost against K1llsen. This could be the railgun coming out of K1llsen. Not going to hit the shots, but it doesn't have the rocket launcher anyway, so... Yeah, I actually would imagine that would have been a different story if he did have it up at that time.
Great patience by K1llsen. Pushing in for the rocket launcher once he knows it's safe, and once he knows Hal doesn't want to go for the railgun, which would have been 3 damage for K1llsen.
Oh, he's actually have a chance to catch him out here. Hits the first rocket. Oh, the second. Almost following up. The Mega is up. But you can see Hal's gone the wrong direction. He actually hasn't gone for the challenge. He hasn't gone for the pickup at all. Here the rail comes in, and K1llsen puts the nail in the coffin and sends Hal back into the ground and picks up the first frag again.
Just greedy. There was no reason after Hal ate that initial great rocket on the upper ground to push back in for the Mega. Must have known what K1llsen wanted.
Oh, here we go. Berserk coming back in. He's looking for the chase. He spots him out, and he gets the kill. Fisticuffs again. K1llsen is on a rampage here.
Nice.
Even catches him out another time. Hal has not been able to get comfortable so far in this set.
Don't think I've seen anyone kill their opponent with the ability as much as K1llsen does.
I mean, he's using the speed, he's using the damage just to get those final kills. Again, hits another rocket, takes away the heavy armor. He's stacked to hell here, and he's got 16 rockets to use, but he doesn't need that. He only needs another one. And K1llsen will take the first map in the series now.
Yeah, 3-0. Looked quite comfortable there. K1llsen just settling into this tournament.
He's a machine.
Really nicely. He's German.
Yeah, German efficiency, man.
Efficiency.
But he's a machine though, from what we've seen so far in these 2 sets now. Like, he's been able to show he can adapt his style for his opponent. He can adapt his champion picks. He can adapt to aggressive or passive at any given point in the game. And it looks like he feels so comfortable on Doomslayer now that I wonder if you take him off that champion, can you have a good chance to beat him in a series? His anarchy was was strong, Rudy Salt, but the comfortability
for a
with
lot
rockets.
Of players, that's the way it normally works for Anarchy. That they're exceptionally strong on Anarchy, but once you get them off it's
right.
Not so much. But with K1llsen, he was notorious for his nicks, and he's adapted extremely well to the introduction of Doomslayer. And his Anarchy is good, but it's nowhere near the best. So if you can get him off Doomslayer, you still don't have a Nix to contend with. And I think the Anarchy is kind of like a backup pick. I generally don't envisage him using it much outside either last or first.
Now, we were talking in the car again about possible champion picks throughout this entire tournament. You mentioned Clutch is a good pick we're most likely going to see. Can you kind of explain why for maybe some newer viewers out there, or maybe again for me?
It's I was kind of assuming you're under the former.
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be the little guy out there. The guy who comes to the stream like, what's this? I don't know what this is. I'm gonna help him out.
I didn't say it's a good pick. I said it's a viable pick.
It's a viable pick.
It's a viable. It really depends on playstyle. So, Garpy, K1llsen, Cooler are kind of the 3 better people to do it. Obviously, it has a substantial stack advantage that if you can get up to that level, it ticks down very slowly. You're always got an advantage in these mid-range fights. The lightning gun obviously being diminished slightly, even though it's exceptionally easy to hit on clutch. But it's the use of that shield, and if you can play positionally, you can abuse that shield mechanic in that pushing in, cornering your opponent, and once that shield's up, you have complete control over these fights, and your opponent can't do anything. It means when you don't have the ability up, you have to play very smart, very patient, and continuously monitor your cooldown, so picking up the time shards, etc. But that's why someone like Cooler is exceptionally good at K1llsen. These players who love to play positioning, who aren't afraid and don't mind slowing the game down to a snail's pace. It suits them, because then as soon as you get into a corridor, say on Blood Run, you get down by the Mega, as a clutch, you come flying out from a corner, your opponent can't do anything if you've got a shield up. You just corner them, you have double their stack, you have invulnerability, and it's basically, again, a free champion kill.
Okay. So is there any champions you expect to not really see? Obviously, Ranger was a massive pick back in the EU qualifiers, back when I was last casting. But I'm hearing quite a bit that it's not necessarily as good a pick anymore.
Yeah, it's still definitely viable, and I think it's slightly underused. It's just the main 3 or 4 that are being picked are just so good in relative terms. Although Avik in his pre-match interview said he likes the BJ pick, I don't think we're still going to see that.
I think most people out there will enjoy seeing BJs. I mean, the dual wield is always fun to see. Double rockets, double the chance to kill someone.
See, doesn't mean it's particularly good.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I mean,
definitely-
playing it playing BJ is a little bit rougher sometimes because obviously he's
It's
very
one of these
vulnerable.
things that sounds really great in practice, but it lacks so many other areas that it's
Execution can be definitely difficult.
It can be.
It can be difficult. I believe we are just going to be loading in a few seconds. They did their champion picks. Didn't get to see on the screen what they necessarily did go for, but you can see the trophy that both these players and the rest of the 8 or 6 total, 8 total, 6 played. I'll get there eventually. Are playing for. I think the big thing about this tournament though, it's not necessarily the trophy, not necessarily the prize. It's the pride. I think is massive because you are playing in one of the most stacked tournaments we've had to date.
Yeah, I would agree with you in that. Anyone coming out of this on top is a really tough route to the final.
Look what we're seeing. K1llsen. Some slash. So he showed his Anarchy, showed his Doomslayer now, and showing a 3rd champion to us to see what he can do off the bat.
We have a Scale Bearer from Hal. All right, I'm happy.
Yeah, you're a big fan of Scale Bearer, aren't you? You were talking about it last night.
I'm a huge fan of the Scale Bearer. I'm just ashamed he's not particularly useful. So
Is that because you wish to be that big one day?
What?
Are you gonna cosplay Scale Bearer?
Don't need to cosplay.
I'll pay for that.
Yeah.
Ooh, K1llsen using the rail, using the high ground.
Here he is, Scale Bearer up. Yeah, the slash pick.
You're like a kid in a candy store. Oh my god, it's Scale Bearer, guys!
I'm so happy. The slash pick is great on this map. It's better than the Anarchy because you have the wide open top level, so you can literally skate around to your heart's content, flicking across from the levels, something you can't do particularly well on Anarchy. It just means your movement around the map is so fluid, and you can exert so much pressure or escape that it's almost invaluable.
It seems like a lot of people have picked up slash. Like Rafa was, in my mind, one of the first people to use it.
Yeah, Rafa Tox, Cypher also as well. Then Slash got a buff and made her even more viable, and it was just a kind of learning curve for players.
Right. I mean, she does. Oh my lord, how? I mean, he's on Scale Bearer, he's on more of a tanky champion, but it didn't look like it there.
Didn't even get to see the Scale Bearer.
You're so sad about that. To be fair, though, yeah, I miss Sorlag. She's my bae.
She should be.
One of the first champions I played back when she was really strong.
That's not the only reason you played her.
I mean, she's hot. Look at her.
But yeah, K1llsen's like just flying around this map pretty carefree. Hal unfortunately just hasn't got a foothold. Don't think he's picked up nice though. Don't think he's picked up a single item. But he has managed to take the slash off the map.
It's a big turning point too. He also has a ghost swap that he could potentially pop out of K1llsen though. With Hal not having his own up, he's going to have to give some sort of respect to him.
Exactly.
But that's the kind of kill he needed, right? That's the initial engagement he needed to make something happen. He forced the ghost walk out of K1llsen now, so he has a major advantage. He has about like what 20-second window almost between the two to make something happen.
Doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is. And he just picked up those time shards, so he just increased it to 30 seconds he has now to try and make something happen.
And he's got extra health too, so he's got some mega picked up. Oh, he actually has Hal spotted out here, K1llsen, looking for the heavy armor. He's going to pick this. Oh, he tries to dodge the telefrag, and there he does actually pick it up himself here for Hal, but the lightning gap's coming out. He has no HP left to work with, and K1llsen going to pull that one back. Oh, you can see there's a little bit of worry in his eyes there, but he kept his composure.
That was risky. Like, I thought he should have just taken it and rolled with it, but coming out on top.
That's like mind games, though. Like mind games on mind games, because he thought that Hal was going to sit on that to just kill him right when he picked it up.
Mind games on mind games on mind games. It was either way. He came out on top, so I can't really criticize him too much.
You can. I can't. Because him and I have a bet against each other, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. It involves me killing him once in a match.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I almost did it to Vu yesterday. Almost. Even though he wasn't there, he was AFK, and I still missed my shots. LG coming out of Hal, doing some pretty good tracking here, and K1llsen, a lot of pressure coming towards him, both very low on health, but again, the bouncing coming through, not allowing Hal, who's trying to go for the hit scan, to get comfortable. How are you supposed to predict where the person's going to be if you're getting knocked around yourself uncontrollably?
Yeah, and K1llsen's rockets has just been on point today. Really strong.
Oh, again, coming back through. K1llsen making it look really easy. Heavy armor picked up and secured by K1llsen. His stack is insane. He's even got 13 rockets to bear. And that's going to be the Scale Bearer coming back out But for how long is the real question. He's going to miss that first rail, looking for the follow-up, going to miss the second. And the charge, the bulwark has come through, but he takes another rail to the face, and he gets a second! Can he finish Hal off? He's going to come through the slip gate, looking for the kill, and he gets a third! K1llsen wants all rails there.
Finally,
and now he's one round away.
Rail coming out.
Oh, man.
I haven't seen that in years.
It was good, though. It was really well done by him. And now Hal, I mean, this is looking exactly like Claus versus K1llsen. He's going to have a long journey to pull this one back.
And it's K1llsen's just suffocating Hal. Reading him exceptionally well, not allowing him to get on items, not allowing him to get on the rail.
Yeah, he's got the rocket launcher, got the rail right away. What has Hal even picked up here so far? I don't think he's actually gotten really of anything because the mega health is still up as well.
Exactly. It was
and K1llsen's there.
Unfortunate spawn for Hal and just took the wrong direction. And now he's popped the Ghost Walk. He's in big trouble because K1llsen will just hunt him down.
Just needs to hear exactly where he's going to be going. Again, Hal's not gotten the rocket launcher yet. I don't think he even has the rails still.
He has nothing. I don't think he has a rocket either. So
no, there's no way. He's got a machine gun. That's it. Again, on top ground.
And he's
easy
dead.
shot. Yeah, there's no way you're going to skate that without a Ghost Walk. K1llsen looking
there,
flawless.
K1llsen moving around the map and just knowing exactly at all point in time where Hal was going to be.
He's going to deny the rocket launcher here, isn't he? He's going to look for it. And he's going to be able to do it too. This is not looking good at all. He's going to miss the rail. Very uncharacteristic of him. But he can still afford to push his aggression. When he's up 1-0, he's up 2-0 in the round.
And you can see the slight inexperience in Hal in that yes, K1llsen's doing a good job at pressuring Hal, but Hal's just too afraid and not really understanding what he should be doing.
He's jumping over every single rocket. It's like he's running a 100-meter hurdle here. K1llsen is just not catching any damage, any flak at all, and now he's being pressured yet again here. Hal does have the mega health, using the Berserk to get away, create some distance. I think that's a smart play out of him. What I'm loving seeing out of K1llsen, he's controlling the two major pickups, right?
Yeah, but
I could be completely wrong here, but shouldn't Hal be going for guns then to be able to at least fight him in terms of that?
Yeah, but the problem is as well in that Hal is so afraid of the way in which K1llsen's playing, and he's playing defensive, but he's passive in that he's allowing K1llsen to get all of these items pretty much for free. This has been good, but he's still going to die for it.
Yeah, 16 HP to go. Again, can't hit the rocket. K1llsen is jumping over all of these rockets. It is insane.
So
that's like 4 rockets in a row he jumped over.
So even though Hal can't commit for items, he needs to have some type of presence. And this isn't the presence I'm talking about because he's just going to... Should I? Is that he needs to try and deal damage for K1llsen because K1llsen's just running around the map. You can see here basically full stack for free. And when that happens, Hal has virtually no hope.
I mean, Hal has the timing on one item, and that's the mega health because he saw K1llsen take it before. Great little prediction shot there too, coming out of him. Maybe look for the chase, get the rockets, does get the tanks, knows exactly where he's going to be. He can prevent the rocket another time. And Hal it always seems to be, he's the prey and K1llsen's the hunter.
Look at this read from K1llsen.
Oh, he wants to finish with the punch. He's going to charge away. He just can't catch up to him. He's not that fast, but he still has one punch!
Oh, no. How?
The Shoryuken comes in, and K1llsen will take the series 2-0.
I don't think Hal will be that unhappy with that. I mean, I think he did as well as Claus, pretty much. Theoretically.
Yeah. He didn't get a kill on to K1llsen, though.
He did?
Did he?
Yeah.
I got one kill. One kill, right? Yeah, one kill.
So
in the
he
second
did
round
half
before
as
that.
good as Claus.
You're not
Thank you very
wrong.
much, guys, and K1llsen doing a pretty good job there. Once again, a 2-0 scoreline in both of your first matches. You must be feeling pretty good about the way you've started this morning. Had your coffee today, I see.
Yeah, but only one. Maybe I should lower it at home, actually, because I'm drinking more at home, and yeah.
You need to teach me. I'm on about 5 coffees at this point, so absolutely fantastic stuff for you. Of course, in the group stages, getting those first 2 wins, very, very crucial. Arguably means you're going to have a little bit of an easier time because, yeah, okay, you still want to finish with a 3-0 in the round robin, of course, but you're looking pretty good to do that now.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's still not inside of me that I beat Claus like 2-0, which is pretty good overall in the statistic in the end, in the group stage, and yeah, just have continued this run. I know K1llsen is gonna be like, yeah, also the top caliber. We don't have to talk about that, but a totally different style to Claus. So yeah, it's gonna be like another crazy set there and a total different game how to play.
Well, the games have been fast and furious, but also entertaining so far, and we look forward, of course, to seeing those in the final group game as well. Congratulations once again. Analysts, we're going to go over to you guys to see how that set went down. Take it away.
Well, that set was a very, very quick one, just like we saw versus Claws. I don't even think we can analyze too much of that match, if I'm going to be honest, because that was just like well executed from the beginning from K1llsen.
Yeah, like I said right at the very end, it was more how, and then I said it in a previous stream, is there's a difference between being defensive and passive. If you're being defensive, you need to be active in trying to pressure your opponent off the items and when they're trying to pick up items, even if you're not committing for them to yourselves. If you're passive, you're almost just hiding and just waiting to die, and that's what inevitably happens. In that you're trying to play not to lose, and when you're allowing your opponent to get onto, it's a stupid comment. But
So if you're playing not to lose, is it playing to win?
No.
Or is it not playing to win? You're just playing to not lose?
You're just trying to stop yourself from losing.
Right.
So you're not making any active attempt to have a presence on the map. You're not trying to go for items. You're not pressuring items. And that almost creates a vicious cycle of your own doom because your opponent has complete control, complete positional control, complete item control. And then what can you do unless you get exceptionally lucky and hit all your shots and hit nothing?
So whenever I cast Quake, I like to go more towards like the newbie route because obviously as myself, as a player, I'm more of a newbie. But I want to like, as my goal to teach people a little bit more how to play, people who want to get more into Quake and more involved with it. So if you're in Hal's position there, you talked about defensive and passive. They're two completely different things in this situation.
Yeah.
What should he have been doing a little bit more?
Keeping track of item
to get some control back.
It's difficult now in hindsight, but keeping track of item timings and playing more positionally and knowing what K1llsen wanted to do. So just simple things like trying to take bridge when he's going for the red, trying to hit a rail, and then when he was often rocket jumping up, then you can do a lot of damage in that kind of backing off into the side corridor, trying to hit a rockets and then escaping. Just keeping a better a key aggression position when K1llsen's picking up items is a nice start, really.
I did like how, well, actually I did and didn't like how K1llsen had such good control of the map.
Yeah.
But more importantly, he was controlling the items sometimes, but not really even being there. There was times he was, fully controlling onto it, and we'll take a look at some of the highlights, I guess.
That's like
but how wasn't taking advantage to pick up rockets when he knew K1llsen was going to be sitting by one of the major items?
That's like one of the next steps up. It's a really difficult mind game to master, is leaving items up. So even though you know when the item's up, you're not going for it straight away. You're playing your opponent. So you know Hal was never really going for items. So there's no need for K1llsen to commit to them. He was keeping a track of where Hal was. So even if the heavy's coming up or a mega's going up, what K1llsen was doing was moving into an aggressive position to take, for instance, the lightning gun. So hiding by the lightning because he knows how Hal wants to go. Hal might think K1llsen's going for the mega or the heavy and just going for an item. So K1llsen's awareness of the overall macro game of what Hal wanted to do at all points in time was really, really impressive.
It's also, he throws off the timings for Hal by not picking them up right away,
It does that as well, yeah.
So it's like hard to keep the track of, when both items are up, then also makes it easier for K1llsen to transition from one to the other in like a timely fashion.
So as an absolute basic as a player, timing items perfectly, having all the weapons and moving between the two items is the key. But then the next kind of level up from that is what we saw K1llsen doing, which is then pressuring your opponent outside of that. So using the items as a guideline and falling back to them if you need them, but securing them, moving out and getting on top of your opponent. And that, when you can do that effectively, it feels as an opponent that you have no space to work in.
So as a scale bearer proponent,
Go on.
yeah, anytime we talk about scale bearer, you're in. Actually, you know what? We have to hold on to that because when we head to a break, we're coming back with our third match of Group A. It's going to be K1llsen again up against K1llr this time. So can K1llsen pull off the quick 3-0 or will we see K1llr be able to fight back? We'll see you guys shortly.
La mia vicina si è comprata TV e lavatrice. Dottore, mi ascolta? Sì, ciao. Io vado da Euronics.
Con sconti più buoni, sconti immediati e un buono da 50 euro ogni 200 di spesa. Euronics ti ascolta, davvero.
Con il mobile 4G Fastweb, niente vincoli di durata. 6 giga, 250 minuti, Wi-Fi